Hey there, amigos. It's Bill MacDonald, the Reading and Writing Doctor. And sometimes we have to understand that for many students, life happens at full speed, but reading and writing is going to happen in slow motion. We have to slow life down. And so if you think of my hand as the passage, the introduction, the body, and the conclusion, or a paragraph, the topic sentence called the main idea, and the specific supporting sentence and the closing sentence, then your arm would be an extension of the passage where they're going to ask you questions about a paragraph in the form of a sentence or a word or a phrase or a line or a stanza or a scene. This depends on what kind of passage that you have. And so if there's a story like all of the poems were this past year in 3rd through 8th grade, then arms singular and arms plural can help your kids think of an acronym that's going to help them slow the life down. And I'm going to use a sequence ladder and the acronym ARMS, as in actors, A, remember, R, more, M, story, sequence, or stanza sequence in this case. So let me show you, seeing is believing. So let me show you very quickly for those of you who have the 3rd through 5th and the 6th through 8th reading practice test. I also sent you this rules for reading where you should read the question, the Q, and any S or P that it's asking about softly by this time, because we should either be working with partners or should we be working solo so that we can still be reading softly on the test. Underline anything that's important in both the passage and the question, label the big idea using hashtags of the keywords, evaluate the question and what kind of strategies that you need, execute those strategies, don't X ugly, eliminate and explain the wrong answers, select the correct answer, show why it's correct. And if you're doing your Scantron, you'll use paper and pencil. If you're doing online and computer, then you'll submit your answer. And so if you flip that over, the sequence ladder that's on the back of the rule says, use the ladder below to help you organize information, facts, sequence and events, or steps in a process to know when to go back up, before and first, to move forward. And so we'd find out after or last on that. And so the question that's being asked about is why the mother looks out the window. And if we slow life down and say, actors remember more story sequence or stanza sequence, we're going to slow these 3 lines down. The line that's being asked about, and look around it to see what we can figure out about the reasoning behind her looking out the window. So it says, what is the most likely reason, the cause, the mother looks out the back window of their home on line 24? So I'm going to have mother look out the back window, but I'm going to go to line 24 and back up to line 23. I want to see it in the context of its surrounding lines. So let's do that right now. Let's look at lines 24, but include lines 23 and 25 with it. So 24 is read the question, back it up to read the line before. We're going to act out lines 23, 24, and 25. So let's try it. When I ask her what she truly believes in, what she has faith in, so that's, let's call that action. Mom, what do you truly believe in? What do you have faith in? And so have your kids ask that to somebody, another character, because this poem only has 2 characters, the mother and the daughter. Mom, in a truly inquisitive form. What do you truly believe in? What do you have faith in? Here's where she stops and looks out the window. She stops and looks out our back window at the bright blue autumn sky. So, if it's true that the poem uh, says that everything happens for a reason, even her doing that is for a reason. Let's see how she responds. And even though there's no quotation marks, she responds to the daughter after stopping, looking outside. I guess I believe in right now, right here, heaven, and the four of you as my children. So since I see commas in a series and 3 capital letters and uh, punctuation, I'm going to practice my grammar with commas in a series, the name of a place, the pronouns I, and the stop sign. Capital. I guess capital. I believe in right now, comma, shorter bounce, shorter pause, right here, comma, capital heaven, comma, and the four of you as my children, period. So there's a moment of reflection in between what is asked by the daughter and what is responded by the mother. So there it is. We acted it out. So we can hopefully figure out what was her reasoning to go look out the window when her daughter's asking a question. Let's take a look at our 4 answer choices, and hopefully because of our acting and writing it out on the sequence ladder, we'll be able to figure it out. To show that she really appreciates nature and the cool weather autumn brings. Since there was nothing about appreciating nature in those 3 lines that we acted out, that wouldn't make sense. It wouldn't fit within the context. When anything that changes the content or the context or the meaning of the details, then we're going to eliminate them. She wanted to have a moment to truly reflect, was reflecting to think on the question that her daughter was asking, to give her best, comma, honest response. So why is the comma there? If you have a best and honest response, or you put honest and best response, you can flip them like that. Your honest best response, then you can put the comma, because you have 2 adjectives describing a noun. That does make sense. The pause to think about what she's going to say, to suggest that she doesn't really like being asked questions. Well, as one of the students from the last school I went to said, if she doesn't like being asked questions, then she wouldn't have answered the question on line 25. To reveal to the reader that autumn is the most beautiful of the 4 seasons, at least in Brooklyn. Well, since they were not sharing any opinions about the season, she was sharing her opinions about how she feels about the right here, the right now, about heaven, her faith, and about her family, then that wouldn't make sense. So based on the sequence ladder, and actors remember more story sequence or stanza sequence, we would probably say that it's to give her a chance to reflect on the question that daughter is asking, to give a good, honest response. So there you have that. So for those of you that do have the practice test, the rules checklist was there included, and the sequence ladder, and the graphic organizer has the arm where it says actors remember more story sequence. There's also another arm that talks about artists remember more senses. Because sometimes you have to paint a picture, and like the pictures behind me, if a picture paints 1,000 words, what we're asking your students to do is turn 1,000 words into a picture, and just do the opposite. So that's just one way to solve, actually 2 or 3 ways to solve a question like this. Hope you like it. Don't forget to share, tag your reading and writing friends, subscribe on my YouTube page, and like the video on Facebook. You guys take care.